we go. And let's change this one. How about to Murky? Good morning. Welcome to Stiffler Manufacturing. About to get ready to get some slides shipped out. Do an early morning live before we head off to the shop today. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Getting some sales. Got a new shop that might be willing to take in some of our slides. Slowly moving each day. There we go. And let's get this ready to get shipped. Where are we mailing this off to today? Oh, thank you. Yeah, the turbo here. Front grip serrations. Top ported window. Of course, we've got our RMR cut. And for those looking for a complete port, Viper, 3 windows, weight reduction. Might need to do a lighter recoil spring assembly, but she runs great. Oh yeah, I wish I had the Leonidas with me right now, but that's not in production anymore. We do have some in stock. We might bring it back to production. There's been some interest from it. It's such a hard slide to make in comparison. It requires a lot more deburring, it takes longer to make, and it's easier to break tools on it. So, I mean, the price range for that one's around 300, and of course, when you've got your 17 zooms at 145, people were just like, well, we'll buy that one. So we just didn't sell as many, so we kind of took it off, and go figure, once we take it off, people kind of want it. Hey, Instructor George, how's it going? Oh, the Siley optics? Yeah, they're pretty good. I've taken this one, I've dropped it at chest height multiple times on wood, concrete, gravel. Hasn't really gotten scuffed up at all. And I've shot it 800 to 1,000 rounds at this point. And working great. Only issue is, and I should use Loctite, but because I plan to switch this optic around, I'm not Loctiting it to anything. So it does get loose after a good range day. And you need to retighten everything. But that's not really a, huge problem. Just something you got to remember to do. So let's get this ready. Where's this heading off to? Getting this slide mailed off to Utah. We do a lot of business with Utah. A lot of slides get shipped there. Other states too, but Utah definitely the most. Utah loving their guns up there. Which, I mean, that's what it's about. 2A is the way. And good morning, everybody. Those of you who have never seen us before, welcome to Stiffler Manufacturing, where we turn bars of steel into the slides you see before you. We do all our own Cerakote work in-house. All of our slides are 17-4 stainless steel as opposed to others that are 416. All of our slides come with Trijicon RMR flat optic cuts. So you can put things on there like your Holosun 507C, Gideon Optics Omega, Siley Optics Wolf Series. And of course, just Trijicon. We use aluminum RMR cover plates. A lot of places use plastic. Those tend to crack and break over time. So we figured, let's go with aluminum. Especially for those that aren't considering getting an optic, but they might want the availability later. An aluminum cover plate is definitely the way to go. Come on, come off of there, you. What kind of adhesive got stuck on the box? I'm trying to scrape it off. Without damaging the box. Okay, there we go. Now, I don't think that's going to fit, but we'll have to wrap this a different way. Oh, awesome. Glad to hear it. The SM17 zoom, so just the longer variant of the 19, obviously. Front grip serrations, nothing too fancy, but still comes with an optics cut. And, you know, at 19s at 145, I think we're doing pretty well with a lot of the competition, because 17 4 slides, I've seen slides that are similar to some of ours, and they're $300, $400, $500 for a stripped. And we're selling completes at top at like $285. Hey, Greg, yeah. 19s and 17s, and we are working on our 26. We just made a new 26, or maybe it's still in the machining process, so it should be done today. And then we're going to go and test it, hopefully this week. And if everything went right, we will now have our good program and production for 26s coming up soon. Yeah, I mean, honestly, for the price, and I haven't really had any issues with it. And I've beaten the crap out of it. I've tossed it on the ground. I've smacked it against tables. I've dropped it on concrete. And it just still keeps working. Well, unfortunately, I do have some lowers, especially one that kind of matches this one here. But once I put lowers on the screen, I can't touch anything. So that kind of creates the issue. YouTube has a big problem with lowers. FMK. Nothing with FMK. Just Glock 19, Glock 17, working on the 26. After we finish the 26, we are going to be working on the 43. And after that, I'm not really sure what we're going to be making next. Hey, thank you guys for those likes. That's greatly appreciated. And I could put a lower up on here. But again, once I do, I can't touch anything on screen. So that makes things so boring. Let's see here. We'll grab you. We'll grab you. And everything will just go on down here. Yes, the Ruger RXM is compatible. We don't have one ourselves, but customers have tried them, and we did get to try one at a gun shop who actually let us put our slide on there. And so, yeah, we tested out the RXM in that capacity, and our customers have tested it at the range. There we go. You have one of our SM19 Turbo Camo slides on a PSA Dagger frame in tan. Hey, Big Boss Frito, what's going on, man? Scott, how you doing? Our website is stifflermanufacturing.com, link in the description, but I can also drop our link bio. There we go. Here is our link bio. Takes us to all our social media, websites, what have you. Man, everybody gets stiff with Stiffler. They just don't realize it yet. Let's get this bubble wrap. Scarface, yes they are. No Blue Tiger one yet, Brandon, but if you reach out to our sales email, sales@stifflermanufacturing.com, and you wanted to request one, just let them know, hey, I love your tiger stripe camo. Could you guys make one in blue and black? Because we have NRA blue and graphite black, and yeah, they might be able to do one. If our painters aren't busy with a project, then yeah, they might be able to do it. Oh, thank you, Scott. Greatly appreciate it. Right now, I'm just getting a slide packed up in the background, so if you hear me working on something, I'm going to get this sent off to Utah. Go, Molly, go. You can pick up a slide from our website. We're actually having a sale because it's Glocktober. 15 to 20% off all our slides. I don't think we can touch the M&P 2.0 just yet, because I'm pretty sure it's still under patent. So usually what you see with aftermarket ones on those is that someone has taken an OEM M&P 2.0, done some external milling work on it, and yeah, then that's it. Whereas what we're doing is we're taking bars of steel and milling them into the actual slide. So we would need to get permission from Smith & Wesson to actually do that until their patent expires. Because that's what happened with Glock, which is why you see a lot of Glock slides in the aftermarket now, is that their patent expired, which allows people to make slides aftermarket. So like why other people can make 1911s instead of just Colt, it's because the patent has long since expired. Oh yeah, no problem. And it counts into other things too. Like people ask us, can you make a Deadpool style slide? Technically, yeah, we could. We know where we can get the stencils. The issue is if we as a business started selling them, that might piss off Marvel and Disney. And they might have a problem with it, and then, you know, legal issues. But if you yourself decided to get some Cerakote and some stencils, and you decided to sand your slide and paint it yourself for your own personal use, you're probably fine. I'm not an attorney, don't quote me, but you're probably fine. There we go, forgot my tape. Let's get my tape all up in here. Oh yeah, it would. Yeah, we can ship to Illinois. We can ship to all 50 states currently. That one guy, no, we're working on the 26, but it will not be an MOS, and that's because the MOS is patented. No, we don't make any custom frames. The orange one. I can show you the orange one, but I got to take away the frame. One moment. See, that's the downside to having a frame on there. I know some people really like seeing the frames, but YouTube does not. So we can't really do anything with frames because YouTube hates it. So here we are. Oh, let's try and get some focus in there. Yeah, and what it stems from is a few years back, some of you might remember this, there was an incident or two involving firearms where, you know, stupid teenagers did stupid things, and it resulted in the, shall we say, deletion of certain people. Some of you might remember the video involving a dictionary and a point-blank range shot. Yeah. Stupid people doing stupid things. And so ever since then, live videos can't involve touching of frames and things like that. Slides are fine for now. Eventually, I'm sure YouTube will have a problem with it. But for now, they're fine because they're not actually the firearm. Too many Glocks. We use Cerakote, in particular H series, but we're also branching out into F series and FX series. So, for example, this one here that has the lightning stencil, which our stencils are courtesy of Tactical Penguin. This Lightning uses an F Series Arctic White and an H Series Graphite Black. Yeah, sometimes I go through YouTube and watch a lot of 2A content and just see, clearly no one has ever attended a firearms training course or had a good instructor or parent in their life, and they are doing some seriously stupid stuff, and it makes the rest of us look bad. They are not doing the 2A any good service with some of their behavior, which is very disappointing. Because 2A is the way. I don't care where you come from. I don't care what your religion is. I don't care, you know, rich or poor, right or left. You're an American, you should be allowed to have a firearm. You should be allowed to build your firearm, modify it however you want. But when you go out and you do dumb stuff, it gives people who are anti-2A more ammunition, if you will, against the rest of us. And your stupidity should be admonished. Because you really are making the rest of us look bad. Do we offer the barrel in camo? No, we don't actually make the barrels ourselves. The barrels come from ELD Performance. And they're all black. We do have some in copper PVD, but those aren't ported. But we do offer completes with ported barrels. This one here just doesn't have a ported barrel. But we do offer completes with ported barrels. As well as threaded barrels, for those of you that are allowed to have threaded in whichever state. Like, I know New York has a problem with threaded barrels. I think Illinois does. Let's see, who else? New Jersey, Washington, maybe Oregon, California for sure. Massachusetts, I think. I got a list somewhere. Oh, yeah, we have porta completes. So actually, if you pop onto our website and you were to say, like, let's say you're looking for a 19, so you click on the 19, on the top left, well, not left, top middle, I guess I should say, click on complete slide, and it'll show all of our completes. And if there is a variant you want that we don't have a barrel for example, let's say you were looking for a complete of this, and we didn't have it on the website, and you wanted it with a ported or threaded barrel, just email us, and we'll get it set up. Oh, that'd be crazy. White marble countertop slide. That might probably do best with Stormtrooper white. But how to get the glossy lines in there to make it look like marble? I'd leave that to the painters. I can paint basic stuff, but some of the painters we have do some really cool stuff. A topographical slide? Kind of like map looking? Yeah, we've debated, if we ever get a laser engraver, we've debated doing something like that. We actually might need to get a laser engraver at some point once we start making Gen 5s, because we've already seen some confusion. For example, one person bought a Gen 3, because that's what these are, is Gen 3 slides. Now, you can make them fit on Gen 4s and Gen 5s. You just have to change out a few parts. But even though our description and titles and everything said Gen 3, the guy bought it thinking Gen 5, and he tried to force parts into place that didn't fit. And he's like, well, I thought it was a Gen 5 slide. And it's like, well, I thought you could read. You're an American, you went to school. I thought you could read. Stop making us all look bad. But he didn't, and yeah. He jacked that slide up. Looks like he took a hammer to it and tried to, like, force a part into place, and I just... Holy crap, man. like you're using a firearm. Try not to be stupid. So when we do get Gen 5s up and running, what we might do is, bad example, this one. What we might do is add laser engraving under the RMR plate. So that way you guys still get that sanitized look where there's no information. But then when you remove the plate or your optic, it'll say things like Stiffler Manufacturing, SM19, 0.5, 0.3, whatever, to show what generation it's for. And then also maybe the model, like this right here is an SM19 Zoom. This one's a Hellet. This one's a Viper, Turbo. So we'll just put it, that way it's under the optic, so you guys don't have to look at it unless you want to, but it's still easily identifiable once you remove the plate or the optic. And, you know, maybe we'll add our logo on there too, you know, throw a little Stiffler Dragon on there. But it's something we've debated doing. It'll also assist with other vendors who are white labeling our product with or without our permission. Because what we found is that we've sold slides to a distributor, and then the distributor sells it off to whomever, and then whomever either renames it or whomever they sold it to renames it to something else. And it's like, you're supposed to have a white label agreement when you do that, but some businesses, they purposely buy things and relabel it. For example, we use the actual color names and codes that Cerakote has. I don't rename anything. We don't rename anything. It's whatever so if this, for example, is bright purple, it's an H series Cerakote, so we call it bright purple. This is shimmer aluminum. But I've known other slide businesses and other 2A related businesses who didn't like the name, or they didn't want people being able to find the color as easily, so they had some sort of I guess concept of exclusivity. And we disagree. We want you guys to be able to color match. So when you look this up, you can see the color codes for it. It's mil-spec OD green, desert sand, and Glock FDE. That way you guys can color match for whatever frames or whatever furniture you're going to put on your weapon. Glock 36, right on, man. Yeah, never leave home without it. Stay strapped every day. Because 2A is the way. These here, Hunter Orange and Graphite Black. You know, we want people to be able to color match, so we don't change names. The only time we ever did have to change a name was because of eBay, and that's because eBay hates guns. Even though they let us sell products there, eBay is actually not very 2A friendly, and they take 13.6 to 30% of your sales. But they hate certain words, certain verbiage that you might use when you are selling things. So, for example, one color that Cerakote had was bazooka pink. eBay doesn't like the word bazooka. Another one was sniper gray. They don't like the word sniper. So when you tried to list those colors, they would block your listing. And so we had to temporarily change those ones to, what was it? Bubblegum pink and gunmetal. Funny enough, they didn't have a problem with gunmetal, but they had a problem with sniper. Weird. So we had to change it to gunmetal gray, and then we would leave a note in the packaging letting them know that the actual color is sniper gray, because eBay wouldn't let us list it correctly. Hey, Pat, how you doing? And there's some other things that eBay won't let you sell, or you have to word things certain ways that might be confusing to people who are new to this, so it's frustrating. I mean, they're not as bad as Amazon, but it's still kind of bad. Hey, thank you guys for those likes. It's greatly appreciated. Oh, maybe I'll have to do a morning giveaway sometime. There we go. Let's get this all wrapped up and ready. There we are. We got the final wrappings for this slide, so we can get this out of here. sending this off to Utah this morning. And all the slides get wrapped in bubble wrap. They get put in a hard plastic case like this one here. And then they get put into a polymer bag. So it'll be protected from shock. It'll be protected from moisture. Even from the most aggressive postal carrier. Which we've learned over time on how to pack things certain ways. Because we just, you know, besides the fact that we've gotten mail in the Army, and stuff like that has never really gotten in safe in place in good spaces and good condition. But just from the way we've seen stuff get delivered, I remember very early on when we first started, we used to ship slides a certain way, and some of them were getting scuffed, which is difficult to do because I've dropped these slides on concrete and not gotten stuff, and they've not gotten stuff. But somehow the postal carrier managed to do it. And I'm like, how? How did you do that? So now we wrap them this way because it's been proven to work, and no scuffing and no issues. No, we don't do optics cuts yet. Something we might do in the future. We'd have to invest in another machine, and we're looking at least down payment of $20,000 on that machine if we were to start doing optics cuts. We could do it on the machines we currently have, but we're set up for volume production. So to stop production for one slide, we'd stop producing 30 to 50 slides. So it just wouldn't be worth it. So we're debating in the future getting a new machine to then do optics cuts exclusively on that machine, as well as maybe any custom work. But it's at least a $20K investment starting. The machine itself is going to cost upwards of like cheap end maybe 50 grand, but it's probably going to be more like 100. So we got to determine if it's actually something we could make money on. If we weren't doing volume production, yeah, we could totally do it. We just swap stuff out on the machines we have. But since those are made for, you know, volume production for distributors and vendors, we can't really do that. Hey, thank you, Joey. David, yes, currently only the 19 and 17, but we are also planning, well, we are almost finishing the 26, and we are planning on working on the 43 next. Do you sell some with the optic cut for the G19? Yeah, these are 19s right here. So the optic cut itself is a Trijicon RMR flat. So that's good for things like the Holosun 507C, Gideon Optics Omega, Siley Optics Wolf Series, any of the Trijicon footprint optics. Like the plain slides, like single color? Got plenty of those. Actually, this whole month, all of our black slides that are stripped are 20% off because Glocktober. I'll drop the link on our website. It shows off the sales that we're doing. 15% on all the other colors, but 20% on black and orange. Because Glocktober. For the 43, we're probably gonna. That's what's gonna be difficult. Is the 43 so much smaller? So we're probably gonna have a turbo, a variant of it anyway. We're gonna try and do a Viper. Shipping changes depending on where you live. So if you're shipping to California, it's probably gonna cost you like $5 to $7. If you live in Maine, it might cost, you know, 10 plus. So shipping depends on where you live, and I'm not gonna do every single state for you guys. Sorry. But the price range of the strip slide changes from, you know, 145 to 285, depending on if it's a stripped or complete, which model and which color scheme. Your left foot, that's a cheap foot, man. Because you're looking at like 155. Okay, so that, again, that depends on model. So this 155 after taxes, After shipping, probably 175. Thank you, Joey. Yeah, and all our slides come with optics cuts. And the cover plate, we don't do plastic. That's aluminum. So that way, you know, you don't have to deal with cracking down the road, chipping. And we've seen some of them literally just break at the range. So we decided if we're going to do it, we're going to do aluminum RMR cover plates. I mean, yeah, your cover plate might get scuffed up at the range, but that's to be expected. If you're using your gun, it's going to get scuffed. Yeah, we sell completes, like this one here. We use an ELD Performance barrel, an SCT Manufacturing parts kit, and Glock OEM sights. Optic not included, but yeah, we sell completes. Christian, I carry this one. My regular carries, I usually choose between one of 4 different pistols, and 2 of them are ours. So I carry an SM19 Hellet, which has front and top grip serrations, not designed for porting. And I carry an SM19 Turbo, specifically this one, and I need to swap out the barrel for a ported. When I'm not carrying that, I carry a Gen 5 Glock 19 or a Ruger SR9E, which I can't show the whole build, but I can show you guys the slide. But yeah, I trust these. But that said, I wouldn't tell any of you to trust it until you've put at least 500 to 1,000 rounds through it at the range. I wouldn't tell you to trust any gun unless you've actually put it through the range. Nobody should just buy one, you know, right from the store and say, yep, this is my carry gun. Go take it to the range. There you go, Ruger SR9E. I've had this one for quite some time. And yeah, I like this one. But most of the time, I'm carrying my Gen 5 19, or I am carrying one of our clones. There we go, and back together. Hey, I did that faster than the director of the ATF. How about that? Oh, thank you, Christian. Yeah, check out the website. We're doing 15 to 20% off on stripped ones this month. How much for a complete slide? That depends on the model. But the most expensive one is $285. So like, let's take a look at 17s, for example. Let's go with completes. You know, a complete Viper, $275. A complete Turbo, $260 for the Space Worn. $255 for just regular. Actually, $255 for regular color. Yeah, $255 regular color. Let's see. Vipers over here with threaded, $270, $275. Ported barrels, $270, $275. Yeah, about that range. Abolish the ATF, absolutely, man. Protect your dogs. Complete zoom slide, so like this complete would be like $230. Yes and no, Joey. So Gen 3 slides need a slight parts change. You need to swap out the back plate, and you also might need to swap out the slide stop release because Gen 5s are ambi and Gen 3s are not. There's plenty of videos on YouTube on how to do it. I recommend RTT Guns and Gear. He goes over the process on how to swap a Gen 3 onto a 19X. It's pretty much the same process. I've also seen people swap our 19s, which are Gen 3, onto the Gen 5 Glock 45. So it's definitely something you can do, but there's a couple parts you got to change out. We're based out of Arizona. Stiffler Manufacturing, website's in the description. We're easy to find. I'll drop our link bio in the chat. There you go. That'll take you to all of our social media, websites, and whatever. Poopy Pants McFarts more. And I'm going to add Esquire onto that. Esquire the Third. Anything that can run on a Stoger STR 9C chassis, especially a Glock, just can't accept Glock mags. You know, I've never tested it on that. But, I mean, if it can take a Glock slide, then yeah, it should work. Will it fit on a PSA dagger frame? Absolutely. PSA daggers are Glock clones. Just like the Ruger RXM, Geisler, SCT, Grit Grips, they're all Glock clones. Actually, I had this one on a dagger earlier. I'm just not going to keep swapping frames in because YouTube has a problem with it. They don't have problems with it on Instagram or Rumble, but YouTube does. But if it's designed for a Gen 3 19, yep, these will fit on it. Or a Gen 3 17, this will fit on it. And we're working on our 26, and if you want to swap it into a Gen 4 or a Gen 5, you might just have to change out the back plate, the slide stop release, and the recoil spring assembly. Or you might need an adapter for your recoil spring assembly, which all easy parts to find, and there's plenty of videos that'll show you how to do it. Real simple. And I've seen someone take a Glock 19 Gen 3 slide and throw it on a Glock 45 Gen 5 frame. Hamalat, I think. Ladat? Either way. No, these are Gen 3s. However, you can fit Gen 3s on Gen 5s by swapping out a few parts. I recommend looking up some videos on it. It's very interesting. I'm probably going to do it sometime in the near future because I have a Gen 5 19, and I'm just going to put one of these Gen 3 slides on it just to show people you can. Oh, be right back. My battery is running low. Let me grab my charger. Didn't realize that. Sometimes I forget streaming live drains the battery a little faster than normal. There we go. Closest to original, like say Glock OEM. I'm conflicted on questions like that because if you want a Glock OEM, just get a Glock OEM. But at the same time, I understand price point is a thing. But I'd say the Zoom, the SM19 and 17 Zoom are the closest. Now, we have a modified Gen 5 firing pin hole. We do have front grip serrations, but they're canted. They're canted, unlike the Gen 5. And we use a chamfer cut rather than a bullnose rounded cut like what Glock uses. I need somewhere to get aluminum trigger anodized pink. We don't do any anodizing, but we do have Sig Pink, which is an H-Series Cerakote. But yeah, if you're looking for closest, I would say the Zoom. And price point's $145 to $155, so. But it does have that chamfer cut rather than a rounded cut. And that's kind of unique. You'll see it on a lot of our slides that we have a front chamfer and one that goes down the side. That's just kind of the style we chose. A little bit of unique marking. Oh yeah, here we go. So these are 19 Zooms, just different colors. Which actually, I could probably just pull up the website real quick. Let's go with black. Graphite black. There we go. Let's move my cup out of the way. Need to get some more water. Okay, here we are. Various different black slides on our website. There's our Zoom. That's probably the closest we have to a OEM Glock. There we go. Any red? Yes, absolutely. We have Habanero red and USMC red. What's up with all the porting? So people can use ported barrels, which does help with felt recoil. Makes a flatter shot if you do the training. It's not like automatic. You do actually need to train with your pistol. Also a bit of weight reduction. So some people can have a lighter slide if they're looking to do a custom build, change out the recoil spring assembly. So yeah, some people like the lighter slide for that fact. Some people want heavier ones. But that's the whole purpose for it. As for front grip serrations, it's just to give people the option to grip onto something else that's not the rear of the slide. You know, maybe you are injured, maybe you are practicing a different way, maybe, you know, all kinds of stuff. So that's the whole reason for front grip serrations. People view it as a bit more tactical. And for the porting, yeah, it's just for weight reduction and for felt recoil. Thank you, Nick. I can pull up some of our reds. There we go. Here's a bunch of our reds. USMC red, habanero red, and the bit of a difference between the two is that habanero red has metallic flake in it. Oh, that's one of our reverse lightning stencils. So that is graphite black and I believe USMC red. Oh, hey, yeah, we got shirts too. For the longest time, people were asking us to put merchandise on the website, so we threw shirts on the website finally. Yes, competitors definitely do it. For an EDC, there's things to consider. So yes, you are, and if you train, you are going to get a flatter shot. You are going to reduce the felt recoil that you experience when shooting. Granted, it's 9mm, so it's not that much, but there is a noticeable difference. However, when using a ported barrel on a ported slide, you are going to get a fireball flash shooting up. So if you're in low light conditions, you are going to blind yourself. It's like looking at a bright light, and then, you know, when you blink your eyes and you got that leftover image of a bright light in your eyes as you blink, you might experience that in low light conditions. So that can be a factor as to whether or not you carry with it. These are Stiffler Manufacturing slides, Noah. We make these ourselves out of 17-4 stainless steel, and they are designed to fit the Generation 3 Glock 19 and Glock 17. Ghost, our slides range from 145 to 285, depending on whether or not it's stripped or complete and which model and color. That's kinky, Wade Fox. Right on, David. Cool, I got my first morning troll. Morning trolls are great. Night trolls are great because they just help out the algorithm. They're commenting, so it just feeds the algorithm. The most expensive complete Zooted X is $285. So it depends on which model you're getting it in. Like this one here, for example, Zoom complete is going to be like $230. Oh, we mill these ourselves, T. So what we're doing is we're taking a bar of steel and we are milling the slide from that steel. But yeah, it is called, you know, customization, modification, building, assembling, however you kind of fit on that perception. Right on, David. Which 19 did you get? Let's see here. Let's go to this channel. Ten vids and 3 subscribers. Right on, man. Good for you, fart guy. Benny Blanco from the Bronx. Yes, only for Glocks right now. We were in plans to make a 320 from SIG, but we had decided to stop production of that prior to the ICE memo coming out, And then with everything that followed and people's public perception of it, we're just not going to work on SIG anytime soon. So right now we have the Glock 19 and the Glock 17, and we are almost done with the Glock 26. Hey, thank you, Pat. I was cool with the other stuff, but he's being a douche now, so. By the way, we talked to the ATF. They've reached out to us before. We're totally good. Nothing wrong here, nothing illegal here. You know why? Because we're free Americans. You know why? Because we studied what we were supposed to do. And I spent 10 years serving this country, so I'm not getting taken away by the ATF by doing illegal crap. So, Mr. Fart Boy Fox, shove it. Viper Black on Black Ported. Yeah, we have those, David. Oh, that's the one you got. Awesome. T, that's what I thought. I have a milling machine. I built a DMC2 Mini. Oh, awesome. That's awesome. I love that. Need a new slide rail insert. I milled too much. No, we don't have any slide rail inserts. I mean, we do have parts kits, but those are all set up as a kit, so we don't have them individually. I hate carrying my P80 slide because of the corners being so pronounced. Are your slides worn down in the corners? Do you mean on the rear? Or do you mean... Because, I mean, what we do... Well, I'm not going to go into that process because I've already got 2 companies copying us. So, but they are not sharp. We do edge them down so that they're not sharp. They're not going to cut you. And we utilize a chamfer. So it's not rounded, but it's also not really sharp once we're done with it. Fresh off the machine, it's sharp as heck, and you will slice your finger. But once we're done with it, not sharp. Except for the grip texture, it's still rough enough to grip and slide, but you're not going to cut yourself or scrape yourself. But it still has that good rough texture that you need. Oh yeah, absolutely, T. Hey, Desert Armory, what's going on, man? Why is my along so long and lanky? It's like 8 inches. I don't know, man. God loves you. Are those vapes? No, these are Stiffler Manufacturing SM19 and 17 slides, stripped and complete design for the Generation 3 Glock 19 and Glock 17. These are for pewing. Pew pew. Can you design a slide that looks like a great white shark? Possibly, but somebody'd have to order like 100 of them for us to at least design one. Can you show the silver one? Yeah. This is an H-Series Cerakote called Shimmer Aluminum on our SM19 Hellet slide. I don't know, that sounds kind of like an Army MRE, Wade, and I don't really eat those anymore. You know, have some real nutritious, healthy food. Explain to them the compatibility of the Gen 3. A couple of asked, might get a customer or two for a dagger. Yeah, they're compatible with all clones. So what we did when we made these slides was we based the measurements off the Glock OEM. So our measurements, our milling, is within 5 thousandths of the Glock OEM. That's a piece of hair. So if the frame you're getting, so PSA dagger, Geisler, grit grips, SCT, or just Glock OEM, these slides will fit on them. I mean, that accurately describes that entire region of the world, Wade. Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, yeah, Yemen. I've been in the region. That accurately describes it. It's a smelly place. Sassy. Rep Miner, got my first Glock a few days ago. Haven't shot it yet. Man, you're going to love it. I just picked up a Glock 19 Gen 5 a few weeks back. Absolutely love it. Love taking it to the range. Okay, he's muted. Now he's saying really dumb stuff. I was cool with the childish BS, but he's done. You get temporarily muted, buddy. We don't sell to felons. They are in disfavor for this nation. What's your opinion on binary triggers? So, binary triggers, forced reset triggers, switches, G-flexes, whatever. They're fun range toys, but that's primarily all they are, because the majority of people are not putting in the training. And I say this from my experience when I was a machine gunner, and it requires a lot of shooting, a lot of training to control that rate of fire. And if you look at a lot of videos, most are not actually controlling it. They're just sending rounds down range wherever. And if you're going to get something like that, put in the training. It can be a useful tool. But if you're not putting in the training, it's just a range toy, and that's all it's ever going to be, and you shouldn't use it as a carry. Because you are responsible for every round you send down range. So if you can't control it, you shouldn't carry it on an everyday basis. Yep, David Bonney, the PSA Micro fits Glock 43 style slides. The PSA Dagger fits 19s, as well as the full-size S fits 19s. We don't have any DPT pain. We don't have switches. Ronald, you are looking at Stiffler Manufacturing's SM19 and 17 Glock-style slides. These are aftermarket slides made by Stiffler Manufacturing. They get milled from bars of steel like this one here, and they fit the Generation 3 Glock 19 and 17. Avery, that's a great question. So, what makes them different than the standard OEM Glocks is that they, besides the MOS series, do come with a Trijicon RMR flat optic cut. They do come with aluminum RMR cover plates, a wide variety of Cerakote colors, and that the style is different and the grip serrations are different. And unlike the rounded bullnose cuts that's typically used by Glock, we use a chamfer cut. So we just have a few different style options, grip options, and of course an optic option that Glock does not have. The steel we use is 17.4. Glock does not release what steel they use. Honestly think pistols and FRTs shouldn't mix. 90% of people cannot shoot them accurately. Correct. Most people who have switches, FRTs, binary triggers do not put in the training to control their platform. A lot of it is just range toys. I mean, don't be wrong, it's fun to send rounds down range at high rate, but most people can't control it. And it's not that they couldn't control it, it's that they don't put the training in. Yes, Killer, only Glocks. We do the 19 and 17. We're working on the 26, hope to have that done soon. And after we get done with the 26, we are going to do the 43. Duke, you can get one on our website, stifflermanufacturing.com. We're also doing a sale this month because Glocktober. Play on words there, ain't that fun? 15 to 20% off strip slides. Daniel, I have seen some people do Louis Vuitton stencils for their aftermarket Glocks. Any after art Glock 19 Gen 5 slide kits? These are all Gen 3. However, if you look up a few videos and you change a few parts, you can make your Gen 3s fit on the Gen 4 or Gen 5. Essentially, what you're doing is changing the back plate, possibly your slide stop or slide lock release, and you might need an adapter for your recoil spring assembly or to change it out. David, can I order different Cerakote patterns for the Viper ported slide, or would I have to custom order through you guys? We don't really do custom too much, but if there's a color that you see on another slide that's not the Viper that you're interested in, feel free to email us and let us know what you want, and we may or may not be able to do it. But email us at sales@stifflermanufacturing.com. An AR-15 and FRT is a little different. Yeah. Just purchased 2 barrels. Right on, Joey. Gavo, what's going on? Any gold ones? Yeah, right here. This is an H Series Gold Cerakote right here on the Viper. As for gold plating, like say 24 karat gold, we have done them. We've got 2 at the shop. They're a pain in the ass to make. There's a lot of polishing. And our big concern with it is that once you start shooting it, because the gold layer is thin, that it's going to wear off too quickly. So we had considered doing maybe a clear coat on the gold, but because it's polished, Cerakote likes to bond to rough surfaces, not smooth surfaces. So that creates a whole bunch of concerns and issues of its own. So we've never actually sold gold plated, but we do have a gold Cerakote. As well as a burnt bronze, which looks kind of nice. I want you to Cerakote veins on my P320 upper and short and curlies on the lower. Can you do that? Yes, we could, but no, we won't. Mostly because we don't do aftermarket Cerakote for people yet. Something we might do in the future. Hey Zeus, thank you. Oh yeah, burnt bronze looks amazing. Actually, I'll pull up an image of the SM19 Leonidas that's currently out of production. But we have one in burnt bronze that looks just amazing. Especially with a copper PVD barrel. There we go. So SM19 Leonidas, burnt bronze with a copper PVD barrel. We still have a few of these in stock. They're just not on the website anymore. So if you're interested in picking up the last few that we have, just email us at sales@stifflermanufacturing.com. And I think we might have like 5 to 10 left. We might bring them back into some kind of partial production, where maybe we make like 25 to 50 a quarter, but we're not going to have them in full production. Unless we can get a distributor to pick them up, and then we will. What is my favorite Glock? Probably the Glock 19 Gen 5, but if I'm talking about our personal slides, I like the SM19 Turbo, and I like the SM19 Leonidas the most. Burnt bronze and tungsten? Oh yeah, those are great. And then tungsten is kind of like sniper gray, but it has metallic flake with it. Second slide from the left, closest to the laptop. This one here? So this is our Space Worm. We take a graphite black Cerakote, and then we add simulated distressing, so you can see the stainless steel go through. And each one looks different. The process to creating these makes the wear pattern on each one different. So this one got a lot of wear on the top. Others will get them on the sides. And you can see, of course, a little bit here with the grip serrations. But each one wears differently, so no single slide will look exactly the same if you're getting a Space Worm. Kind of the same with the camos, the Lightning stencil, the Tiger stencil. None of them will look exactly the same. So they'll be a little bit unique to you. Angel, nothing for the Glock 20 yet. We might do them in the future. Are we able to manufacture modular AR platform for Glock pistols? Not at this time, John. Maybe sometime in the future, but not yet. Our shop's not big enough. We're slowly growing. We've been in business since January of 2023, and every quarter we do more, add more, improve a little bit. So as we continue to grow, we'll probably keep adding more and more stuff. The way I look at Glock, it's not a pretty pistol, but it works. It's kind of like, you know, if you're going to start getting into shotguns, you get the Maverick 88. Is it fancy? No. Is it pretty? No. But does it work? Absolutely. Do you have any slides without the MOS? We don't use the MOS because the MOS is a patented optic cut by Glock. What we use is the Trijicon RMR flat optic cut. And all of our slides have an optic cut. However, if you don't like the optic cut, in front of it, on top, we have an aluminum RMR cover plate, and you can Loctite this down. So if you're not interested in optics, you can Loctite the plate down. But we have it for each slide because sometimes people just want the option. Sometimes they want to get that optic down the road. And now they don't have to pay anybody to have their slide cut. They just already have it. Corey, they will fit on a 19X. You're going to have to do some slight changes to some of the parts, mostly your back plate, but they will fit on a 19X. Yeah, anytime, John. What happened to LFA? I know they've had some issues with their slide production, but what happened to LFA, Ramey? It can be pretty. And boop, timed out again. I have the astigmatism. Red dots are useless to me. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Sorry to hear that. But yeah, in this case, we might, and we're debating doing one without an optic cut later for a distributor. It might happen, it might not happen. But what I would recommend with ours is if you get one, just Loctite it down. Unless we end up making one of those in the future. Thoughts on the newer high-power clones, SA35, P35, L9A1. I have no experience with them, Gen Z. So I couldn't comment on them. Do you have any for the Glock 34? Not yet. We might do that in the future. Currently, it's only the 19 and the 17. And we are close to finishing the 26. After the 26, we'll probably do the 43. And we might do a 34 in the future, but I honestly don't know. Yeah, that's pretty much it right there, Andui. Is, Glocks are like Honda Civics. They work. And they're going to keep working. So you can do stuff to them, and Glock has finally gotten up with finally adding optics cuts to them with the MOS. Some people don't like the MOS. It's RMR. A lot of people like RMR because there's so many different options. And a lot of people don't like the adapter plates that the MOS has. It's a broom. 1.1x magnification. Okay, interesting. So, yep, we do all the Cerakote work ourselves. We do all the milling ourselves. There's really no middlemen here. Obviously, we can't make the steel. We don't have a forge. So we source steel from U.S. steel plants around the country. Be kind of cool if we had a forge. But, yeah, we don't have a forge, so we do have to source steel. And then, of course, we don't make the end mills. We got to order those. But the slides, all us. The parts kits are from SCT Manufacturing, another aftermarket Glock parts producer. And the barrels are from ELD Performance. The barrels are 416R stainless steel. That's good barrel steel. But our slides are 17.4 stainless steel. And that's just better for slides. It's more expensive. It's harder to work with. But it's better than 416 steel for slides, which you can do a little more with it. For example, one thing you can do on the side breech wall is you can actually do windows. You can't really do that with 416. I've seen some other companies try it, and it tends to cause cracking down the line. With ours, it has not, because 17.4 is stronger and it's more corrosion resistant. So yeah, it is more expensive to work with 17.4, but it produces a better slide. How much? Pipe, they range from 145 to 285, depending on which slide model you get, which color, and if it's a strip slide or complete slide. And right now this month, all of our strip slides are between 15 and 20% off, because Glocktober. Oh yeah, no, we're not doing any aftermarket work on factory slides. We might test that out when we decide to do some optics cuts down the road for individuals. But, yeah, we're not working on factory slides. Just making them all ourselves. The bar stock. But to show how much gets milled away, a kind of comparison. Let's see if I can show this in here with this tiny camera. That's a bad comparison. There we go. That's a little better. Just look how much gets milled away. Hey, Omar, good morning. We're in Arizona, but if you're asking where to get the slides, StifflerManufacturing.com. I need 2 complete slides, G19 and 17, with ported barrels on both. Do you know the product numbers? There's multiples for those, Triggerman Customs. Here, I'll drop you the link. There you go. Drew in Oregon, probably the only closest one to that would be the Leonidas. We have a few left in stock, but currently the only porting that we produce is the Turbo, which has this rounded rectangular port, and the Viper, which has this rounded triangular port. Sort of. It's not quite a triangle. Rhombus? No. Either way, that's what we're currently producing. Yeah, Ramey, that is the problem with 416, and it's what creates so many production issues, is that, yes, it's softer and easier to mill, and it's easier on your end mills, but you got to send it off to be heat treated afterwards, and you have to hope that it didn't get warped during the heat treating process, and then people who are milling 416 after it's been heat treated now have a harder steel to work with, which then can mess up their end mills as they do some finishing work to kind of mill out any of the warping that might have happened, if they can. Sometimes the warp is too bad and the slide is just screwed. And then they send it off to be heat treated for, like, you know, anywhere from 4 to 12 weeks, depending on where it's off to and how behind the heat treat schedule is. And whereas us, we're already working on heat treated 17-4 steel. So while it is hell on the end mills, it produces a slide that we could literally shoot right out of the machine. Do we make Glock 44 slides? Cody, not right now. We're only working on the 19 and the 17, and we're almost done creating the 26, and after that we're working on the 43. We do recycle the waste materials, which is a lot of scrap steel, but not back to the original plant that made it. We send it off to a local scrapper here in town. Hey, thank you, Old Glory. Actually, all of our stuff is made to order. So when you order from us, you'll get it in 1 to 2 weeks because we mill the bar down after you order it. And then we do all of the sanding, the cleaning, the Cerakote work, the curing, and then, of course, final QC and boxing all ourselves. So once you order it, it starts out as a bar of steel. Now, occasionally we do have some in stock, like, say, black slides, because those are so common. But if you're looking for something custom, like this one here, it will start out as a bar of steel and then get made into this. Oh yeah, I saw your message. I thought I replied to it, FE Ordnance. And everybody, FE Ordnance in the chat, feel free to pop in and give his channel a look. Does a lot of range videos, does a lot of gun discussion videos. Give him a look. Oh yeah, anytime. Yeah, Triggerman, no problem. Who else did I miss? We found your delivery slip? Yeah, I saw that. I work for a manufacturer too. I'm not going to say which one, but yeah, we make Glock slides too. Right on, Ramey. And good luck to you. It's a wide business. I don't believe in hating on another business. There's been a few that have that I've been disappointed in over time. I will say one has been Rock Slide USA just because of all the constant cracking. There's a few others I don't really talk about anymore. They've done some bad business practices, the way they treat their customers. I'm not going to talk about them, but I wish every other one a good luck. It's a very wide business or industry, rather. So no one of us is going to conquer all of it, and I don't think there's a reason for any business to be, to have any animosity towards each other. We should all be hoping to push 2A as the way and selling some awesome slides to everybody. Do you ship out of the United States? TA, no, we cannot. And the reason for that is ITAR regulations, which is the International Traffic in Arms Regulation. So basically, that is run by the U.S. Department of State's Directorate of Defense Trade Controls, and they say that we cannot ship firearms parts, or accessories outside of the United States without getting licensing from the Department of State, which we're not likely to do. Wolfchester, we don't do aftermarket Cerakoting that's not ours yet. We might do something like that in the future, so I'd recommend looking up a local Cerakote business if you have any nearby. Omar, they range from $145 to $285, and this month we have a sale for 15 to 20% off our strip slides because it's Glocktober. Do you plan on doing anything outside of Glock? Yes, we did have some plans for it. We were going to start with SIG, but then things went, how they went. So we canceled those plans. And M&P 2.0, I believe, is still under patent, so we can't touch it. That's why there's so many aftermarket Glock slides, is the Glock patent expired. So that's why there's so many companies that can make them. M&P's is so recent that theirs isn't expired yet, as far as I'm aware. Avery, I've never owned a gun before. What would your #1 pick for a compact or subcompact Glock style be for self-defense? Probably the Glock 19 or the Glock 43. Oh yeah, very saturated. And it's just because the patent expired. The moment a patent on another brand expires, there'll be a shift. .632 is the threading that we have for the screws. At 0.24 of an inch. Though the optic you get should have the screw with it. Are the slides compatible with Gen 5 lowers, or do you have the Gen 3? Triggerman, we have the Gen 3. However, you can change out a couple of parts, and they will fit Gen 5s. I recommend looking up a few videos on how to do it, and it's really easy, simple process that'll explain it. Basically, you're just changing out the back plate. You might need to get an adapter for your recoil spring assembly, and you might need to change out your slide stop release, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Could you show us your favorite design? This one. Actually, I like the Leonidas the most, but this is the most favorite I have with me at the moment. Actually, let me pull up the Leonidas. Here we go. The SM19 Leonidas. We've got a few left in stock. They're not currently in active production, but that is my favorite slide. It is absolutely gorgeous, and it is much harder to make than these other slides here, which caused the price to be higher and people just weren't buying it, so we stopped regular production of it. But go figure, once we stopped regular production from it, then now people want it. Omar, what's my story? What's our story? So we started Stiffler Manufacturing back in January of 2023. Its founder, Brian, he is an Army veteran, served in Afghanistan, got a lot of experience doing construction, side work, electrical, carpentry, things like that. And our family has machinists in it. And I myself am also a military veteran, spent 10 years in, went overseas, came back. Once this started up, we started assisting each other back in January to June 2023, getting started up, and we've been doing that ever since. Myself, I am a 2A advocate. I have spent a number of years of my life writing congressmen, law enforcement leaders, the president, participating in 2A advocacy. I was a Golden Eagle with the NRA at one point before I gave the NRA up because they're not doing enough. Life member of Gun Owners of America, member of the Firearms Policy Coalition, the Arizona Citizens Defense League, and I spent some time being a range safety, teaching and instructing brand new shooters on basic marksmanship skills, and just doing a lot of 2A advocacy, 2A sanctuary type stuff. And eventually we fell into this, and we've been making slides since 2023. We went to SHOT Show January this year. We're planning on going again January 2026 in Las Vegas to go to a lot of meeting and greeting, with industry, businesses, and the like. Avery, personally, any of the major handgun manufacturers, Glock, SIG, FN, Smith & Wesson, HK, all make excellent compact personal. Yeah, you're right. They do. No, I also kind of like the Ruger LC9S as a compact, but I know that's not for everybody. Really, what is good for you is what fits best in your hand and what you can train with. Clumsy Matrix, what's going on? These are Stiffler Manufacturing SM19 and 17 Glock style slides. They're designed to fit on the Gen 3, 19, and 17. These are made out of 17-4 stainless steel, coated in Cerakote, primarily H series, though we are working a little bit with F series and FX series. Absolutely not. And if you ask a question like that again, I'm going to time you out. We're a legitimate business in Arizona. We pay taxes, and we occasionally have to deal with the ATF. So if you ever ask something stupid like that again, I'm going to time you out. I don't have any patience for it. You're adults. You have a responsibility to the Second Amendment. Act like it. I don't have any time for that bullshit. And are your slides compatible with the ramjet and afterburner? Yes. We have not tested it ourselves, Triggerman, but our customers have. And they said they like the flat face of our firearms because it actually fits the ramjet well. But I have not tested it personally. I've just seen our customers test it. Hey, Esteban, how you doing? Basically, what you're looking for is something that you are most comfortable with. Yes, absolutely, most comfortable with. Yes, we have an eBay store, Esteban. We recommend people go to our website because eBay takes 13.6 to 30% of our sales, whereas our website takes like 4%. So our slides are a little cheaper on our website. Christopher, go to stifflermanufacturing.com. We have all of our strip slides are 15 to 20% off this month because it's Glocktober. David, I love the Siley optic. I have put 800 to 1,000 rounds through it at this point. I have dropped it chest height onto concrete, wood, gravel. I've beat it against desks, knocked some stuff over, and she still runs. She still works. Still runs great. I'm not gentle with it. I haven't beaten the crap out of it like I've seen some YouTube videos do, but I'm not exactly gentle with it either. I want to slide with the Navy digital camouflage with U.S. Navy on each side in Corvette yellow for your M&P 2.0 10mm. That sounds freaking cool, John. We don't do aftermarket Cerakote for other people's products, just our own slides. We might do something like that in the future. You might be able to get something like that done from, say, East Coast Cerakote. They might be able to do something for you on that. What do you recommend I do with a slide I ordered from y'all? It's unfinished steel. Unfinished steel? I might need some more info there, Esteban. We don't normally sell raw slides unless it's to businesses. This one here, Omar? Yeah, we have Vipers in Space Worn. The term we use is Space Worn. It's a simulated distressing that shows off the stainless steel below the graphite black. So look that up on our website, and you should find them in Viper. Candy Cane, what's going on? Semper Fi, man. Yeah, no problem, John. Black CC1, I assume? Yeah, we have barrels. They're from ELD Performance. They're made out of 416R stainless steel. We have standard, ported, and threaded. We've also got some in copper PVD, and we're starting to get some in rainbow barrel. But we don't make them. They're from ELD Performance. But yeah, I might need some more info, man, on that, Esteban. We don't normally sell raw slides unless they're to other businesses that do custom work. Unless someone else had one of our slides and sold it, which we've seen other people sell our slides on eBay before. Actually, we have an affiliate, RB Tactical or RB Market. They sell some of our aftermarket slides on eBay. But they buy from us at like dealer rates and whatnot. So they actually make regular orders from us periodically. And there's some other people on eBay that have our slides too. Like, for example, we make slides for Delta Team Tactical, MMC Armory, Davidson Defense, who else? The Hub, Sirius Arms. I know Wolverine Arms has some of our slides. I think Gonzalez Gun Co. has some of our slides. Potentially in the future, David. Right now, they're black nitride and PVD, but we might do DLC in the future. Or at least procure DLC barrels in the future. Just depends on how we keep growing as a business. Excess cash, if we ever get any. A lot of the cash we get goes right back into the business, ordering steel and mills, paying the employees. We get me some water. Oh, there we go. Do you guys have bronze barrels? We do have a copper PVD, but we don't have bronze yet. But the copper PVD looks sharp, man. It looks great on a lot of stuff. Son of a gun. That really does not want to cut. Okay. There we go. How do I get one of the worn looking ones? Game Time Daily. These are called Space Worn, and you can get them on our website, stifflermanufacturing.com. And this month we are doing 15% off all non-black. Well, yeah, this one's black technically, but all non-black and orange. And black and orange are 20% off. So use code Glocktober and get yourself 15% off. Which, the Space Worn's kind of funny, because we figured out how to do it, and then we started selling them. And then a couple other companies we saw started making them, but you could tell they hadn't quite figured out how we did it, and they didn't look quite the same. And then slowly it started to, as they progressed, it started to get closer and closer. So we already have like 2 companies out there copying the wear pattern that we did. Which, I mean, kudos to them. They figured it out eventually. But it was fun watching their updates. And it's like, hey, wait a minute, that looks similar. It's not quite there yet. Man, thank you guys so much for the likes. Stifflermanufacturing.com. I'll drop the link. There you go. Yep, we are a slide manufacturing business in Arizona. We've been doing this since January of 2003. I mean, happy Glocktober, everybody. 15 to 20% off strip slides. Can't beat that. Or if you can, they can't beat our prices. Colander. They real? Yes, they are. I can touch them and everything. Woohoo. Yep, they're designed to fit the Generation 3 Glock 19 and Glock 17. That sounds freaking cool, Omar. We're in Tucson. But we know we can't, like, do you mean, like, could we deliver it to you? We just mail it to you. If you were Tucson local, we might consider it, but to be honest, some people made it really weird and made some of our people uncomfortable to the point where they didn't feel like doing loan deliveries anymore. So we'll probably just stick with mail. Yeah, some people made it really freaking weird. Any slide that will fit a G34? No, I'm afraid we don't make anything for the Glock 34 yet. Something we might do in the future. Right now it's just 19s and 17s. Yeah, one of our guys who went to deliver one, he's like, dude, you were seriously acting like a Fed. Like, we should have just tossed this in the mail for you. Yeah, it was funny. And then other dudes just kind of rolled up like really sketchy looking. Any comps? No, we do have ported slides and ported barrels. No comps. Not yet. Maybe in the future. Like our SM19 Viper with its triple window. Grimy, they are Gen 3 slides, but if you know what you're doing, and you can look up a few videos on how, you can make Gen 3s fit on Gen 4 and Gen 5 with little modification. Hey, thank you very much. Yep, we make all these ourselves out of 17-4 stainless steel. Suffice to say, though, you're looking at swapping out the back plate, recoil spring assembly, might need an adapter, and then, maybe your slide stop release. Because the Gen 5s are ambi and Gen 3s are not. But I've seen some that don't change that out at all and it still runs. So yep, you can make the Gen 3 fit on Gen 4s and Gen 5s. Most of Glock's changes were on the frame, not so much the slide. There's been a few things on the slide, of course. They changed the recoil spring assembly and post. The Gen 5s, they changed the safety plunger a bit. They did change the back plate on the Gen 5. But really, they didn't change all that much. So, that's kind of what makes Glock Legos, is that you can fit a 19 on a 26. You can fit a 17 on a 19 and make yourself longs. It's totally doable. And you just need, maybe a few parts and maybe an adapter for your recoil spring assembly. Not difficult at all. Because they're the trainiest tiramisu. Training all day. Because our trains are 2A, and that is the way. More like stiff Glock, because everyone likes to get stiff with Stiffler. They just don't know it yet. Of course, these aren't all the models and colors and schemes that we have. You have to see all of them on our website. But I do like the SM19 Turbo in camo. Mil-Spec OD Green, Glock FDE, Desert Sand, ported window if you want it, and then of course the Trijicon RMR flat optic cut. Get a red dot on there. I don't think I know. We test our slides on PSA daggers, Glock OEM frames, SCT Manufacturing, and Polymer 80. And while I can't show it on a YouTube live, I've got a PSA dagger right here, compact, for the 19. Hey, look at that. I did it faster than the director of the ATF. Who'da thunk it? I joke. I mean, I do know he had a frickin' switch or whatever on the back of that, which was making it difficult for him. But it's still funny. On the most reliable pistol. The most reliable pistol is the one that you feel comfortable with. Honestly, that fits your hand well and you are comfortable training with. That could be a Ruger, that could be a Smith & Wesson, it could be a Glock, it could be a SIG. I know people have issues with SIG right now. It could be an F&N. Honestly, it's whatever fits you well and you're comfortable training with. That said, I like Glock. If you have not built anything yet, go with Glock. Go with their basic OEM. Get yourself a Gen 3, 4, or 5 OEM. Pick a 19 or a 17 and start there. Yeah, CZ. And then after you get comfortable, after you get proficient, then start tiptoeing into modifying things, assembling things, building things. You got to start with the basics first. And I know that's me telling you to go buy something else that's not mine. That's okay. We want you guys to be safe. We want you guys to be practical. We want you guys to be proficient before you start building. I want Brandon Herrera to take over the ATF just so he can just ban it. Or turn it into a convenience store, whichever. The safety mechanisms on the Glock are internal. They do not have an external safety. So the safety that you're looking at is that they have the trigger safety and they have an internal firing pin safety, but they do not have an actual safety switch or lever, whichever one you want to say. I know switch is a bit contentious for some people. But like I have a Ruger SR9 here, and that sound is me activating and deactivating the safety. The Glock does not have that. Yeah, pretty much. And of course that you have to pull the trigger correctly. Think of it similar to the 1911 where it has the hand grip safety and trigger safety, just without the hand grip part. So yeah, there is no safety external on a Glock. And it relies on you as the owner-operator to be safe with your weapon. So when I was practicing, one of my first early pistols was the SR9. I used to practice, it was safetied always, but I would practice at the range drawing and then deactivating the safety with my thumb as I drew. And that's not something you have to do with the Glock. You just draw, put good sights on target, and fire. Hey, welcome back, FV Ordnance. I had to mute that weirdo guy again. 30 minutes this time. He'll probably be back. That's okay. He's helping my views. Oh, no worries. I appreciate the question. I know some stuff. I'm not the most knowledgeable ever. I've got experience, but I'll never proclaim that I know everything. So I'm always willing to learn more and see different perspectives. And yeah, anybody who says they know everything about guns is totally lying to you. There's always more to learn. There's always new stuff. The history of firearms is insane. I've got this big-ass book that I still peruse through from time to time. Here we go. The Gun and Its Development by W.W. Greener. And it's old, and it talks about frickin' firearms from their earliest developments. So there's always stuff to study. There's always stuff to learn about. There's always stuff to practice. Oh, yeah. And I've never read it cover to cover. I've mostly just thumbed through it, and I find something interesting in it, and then I start reading for a bit. But it has, things about flintlocks. It has things about, the arquebus, all kinds of stuff. The fire lance, that was made in China centuries ago. Proofing marks from the British Empire. It has all kinds of cool stuff in it. Measurements, and powder weights, and all kinds of really cool things. But keep that on the shelf over here. And I just pick it up once in a while and thumb through it. When you do the 43, are you going to put a comp in it? Probably not initially. Probably just be a standard 43. Blue Sky, yes we do. We have strip slides and complete slides. We also have standard, ported, and threaded barrels. Oh yeah, my favorite, probably historical gun is probably the puckle gun. I mean, primarily because it challenges the belief that the founding fathers could not have conceived that guns will advance in the future. The puckle gun came out in the early 1700s before the American Revolution, like 50 to 70 years before the American Revolution. I don't know. I've been on for an hour and a half now. I don't know how long I'm going to be on. I'm doing some side work today, so I'm on call, and that started about 13 minutes ago. But I guess if I get called in, or once I guess probably by the time post office opens, man, that's going to be a long, long live this morning. I don't know. Until I get bored, I guess. Or until viewership drops to like nothing or whatever. As long as people keep asking questions and get engaged, I'll probably just chill here. It's been a good morning. Maybe I should do lives this early more often. I started at around 4:30. Let me take a look at the book again real quick. One moment. Come on, sit down. Sit there. There we go. Let's see. What year were you published? Special Contents Copyright 1995. Let's see. Looks like the dude started writing books back in 1876, so I'm not sure. Maybe 1910? Yeah, it looks like maybe 1910. Cassell and Company Limited, 1910. Well, yeah, it looks like the guy started writing books back in 1876. And I got lucky enough to find this at a used bookstore. Oh yeah, definitely. Help build the two-way wall, guys. Sub to channels, comment, like, help build the algorithm. Build that two-way wall. Because I can tell you right now, YouTube is not a fan of gun channels. They just happen to exist because they get ad revenue and they get traffic, and they don't want to get rid of them completely. But they don't like them by any measure. It might be. Would these be compatible with Shadow Systems CR920? I've never tested it, but I mean, so long as it's set up as a Glock clone, it should be. I mean, the Shadow Systems is a Glock compatible pistol with, different changes. But, I mean, it should be compatible. I've just never tested it personally. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I've debated doing some firearms instructional videos, and I know YouTube doesn't like those. So, those might be limited to Rumble in the future. Instagram lets us touch actual frames and stuff, but they're run by Meta, and Meta does not like the Second Amendment. Yeah, no problem, Rico. And if you're thinking about getting one, this whole month they're 15 to 20% off on the strip slides. Holy crap, the University of California did something cool? That's insane. Let's see, let's throw down our disclaimer, because I'm about to post something else on one of our pages. We've got a Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, obviously, Rumble, Twitter, Blue Sky, Tumblr. I'd say we're most active on Facebook and Instagram, but we got to have all these others because we've been blocked and banned and restricted. Like, we've been banned from Reddit because we're a gun-related business. They don't want us there. They don't want us posting about stuff. Even though the rules said we could, they got rid of us. And not just us, they've banned a lot of businesses there. Anytime, Blue Sky. I spent a number of years doing 2A advocacy. Spent a number of years in the military and just, fell into working with gun parts. And I like it. Surprise, surprise, the lizard man, Mark Zuckerberg, hates the Second Amendment. Yep. Surprise, surprise indeed. Yeah, and we've tried to get back on frickin' Reddit, and no luck. Ledger Design Company named our matte shirt next year. Okay, cool. Oh, no worries. Yeah, we tried to get back on Reddit just to let people know, and the community, because we had a huge community there that we were a part of, and just to let them know how things are going. Like, hey, yeah, we're still alive, and we get banned the very next day. We have considered making a 365. I don't know about that exact variant, but we have considered making a 365. Which I don't believe is on patent. I have to look it up. Aspects of the P365, particularly its magazines, are covered by patent, as evidenced by a 2021 lawsuit filed by SIG against Springfield Armory for magazine patent infringement. While the P365 itself doesn't have a single overall patent, specific design elements such as the magazine's follower, body, and spring were the subject of patent applications and grants. Yeah, I think we can make the slide. That said, SIG is known to sue people, so we'd have to be very careful about it. Hell, they're suing people right now for taking their 320 off of their training schedule. So, 365 style for Glock. Oh, I see what you mean. I don't know, maybe. It depends on how we grow in the future. A lot of it depends on what our distributors want and our vendors want. And we're looking to get more and more vendors so we can see more and more of what people are actually buying and into. Trying to find a lot of local gun shops who just want to pick up, like 10 slides. If I could find 50 shops who just wanted 10 slides every other month, it would be golden. That'd set us up to possibly buy a new machine. And then we could do more stuff, More machines, more slides, more designs, more employees in the future. A lot of it's about growth. And what's kept us in the game is slow, steady growth. We've seen some other companies just chase and chase and chase, and they spent themselves into the ground. High Point? Possibly. We've discussed it a few times. Right now, we're just focusing on this sale, and if hopefully this sale goes well, and we'll see what money we have. A lot of us also do side work too, because when sales are slow, you got to go do side work. Like I'm doing a side job today. Quad pay. That concept sounds familiar. Oh yeah, 4 interest-free payments. Yeah, I've seen that on a few other sites. I don't think we've implemented it. But I know eBay does it. And then Amazon does, or not QuadPay necessarily, but Amazon does something similar. Forget what they called it. What did Amazon call it? Yep, you have to sometimes, and it's just necessary. Not Prime Visa. Damn, I forget what they call it. But either way, it's another payment thing where you can make payments throughout. Kind of like layaway, but you get the item immediately. Let me take a look. What does eBay have set up? eBay's is eBay's is Klarna. That's right. Yeah, I could see that because like we have like say our Zoom slide up here for 155, and Klarna is saying you can buy it and only pay $26.90 a month. It's not a bad idea. Of course, we'd have to find one that's okay with gun parts. It seems Klarna's okay with it. Yeah, I get that, because not everybody has the immediate income to buy, spend a couple $100 on a slide. So I get that. That might be a way for them to pick up some sales. I don't know. I'll drop them. I know we've mentioned it in the past, but I don't think we ever really talked about it or did anything with it. Oop, that is the wrong one. Didn't mean to do that. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. And post. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. And I know some banking institutions and some payment platforms, like for example PayPal, people ask us if we'll accept PayPal all the time, and they are completely unaware that PayPal hates guns and hates the Second Amendment. They're not aware that quite a while ago, well, not quite a while, like 3 years ago, PayPal started freezing accounts, and people who had sold their products, all of their 2A accessories, parts, whatever, all their income was frozen in PayPal, and PayPal would not release it. And when a lot of them were small businesses, that really screwed them over, because when you're trying to pay bills, pay employees, buy new materials, and all of your funds are tied up because PayPal said fuck you. Yeah, PayPal, do not use PayPal. If you love the Second Amendment, PayPal is not your friend. Same thing with like other link type websites like Linktree. Linktree hates guns. They'll let basically porn stars be on there, but they do not like guns. So we use Link Bio right now, and so far they haven't given us any problems. Heck yeah, FE Ordnance, right on. Augustin Torres, what's going on, man? Welcome to Stiffler Manufacturing, where we turn slides, or getting tired, we turn bars of steel into slides. Oh, I should get some caffeine or something. I've been up since 4 a.m. But nah, got side work I'll do later. I should finish wrapping this slide up. I'm sending the slide off to Ohio today. Let's see here. So I will have to go to the post office. What's today, the 7th? There we go. And switch you to... Oh, nope, that stays the same. 7. There we go. Well, thank you very much. Yep, we do all the work ourselves, do all the milling, do all the Cerakote work. Do all of that ourselves. Well, like at the post office? No, we get them all scanned in. Especially when it's an eBay sale. So we can show instant tracking. Yeah, eBay is a real stickler. And some people are like, hey, why hasn't my package shipped? And I'm like, because you ordered it on a Sunday. Or my favorite, you ordered it Saturday night. And so we're not shipping it out until Monday morning. And they're like, well, why isn't it shown that it's been received by the post office? Because the post office is closed. So we just didn't bother. Like, we'll show up Monday morning and give it to them first thing, and it'll ship out. But some of them get antsy, and so we just say screw it and go down to the post office and drop it off Saturday night. And then they'll still message us, well, how come I haven't seen any movement? And I'm like, are you not aware that the post office is closed on Sunday? And that you ordered your slides Saturday night? I think people have gotten too used to Amazon. And it's like, not everybody can be Amazon. We don't all have warehouses everywhere. Yeah, instant gratification with things like Amazon has really wrecked people's perception of what regular shipping is. Also, the fact that we mill these, you know, from start to scratch. Or from scratch, from start to finish. So a lot of them have the perception that it's just sitting on a shelf, and no, we start out with a bar, mill it out. Oh yeah, if you have any kind of listing that states you're overseas, make sure your card and your billing address and shipping address are all listed as the same for your bank. That can sometimes cause problems. So make sure whatever card you're using and whatever the bank has on file and whatever your billing and shipping address are the same. Hey, Mighty. We do have a website, stifflermanufacturing.com, but we don't work on Walthers. Currently, the only thing we produce are aftermarket slides for the Glock 19 and Glock 17 in Gen 3. Yeah, if it detects that they don't, sometimes it'll just block you. Not a problem, Mighty. And we are doing a sale this month, 15 to 20% off our slides. Check them out on our website. So if you are interested in doing a Glock at some point, to this month would be the month to do it. So how hot is Arizona? I want to get out of California, but to where? Been conservative from the beginning. Yeah, Arizona right now is 70. Well, actually, it was 59 yesterday morning. But it is, give it an average of 70 to 90 degrees in the fall to winter. However, springtime to summer to the beginning of fall, you are looking at 90 to 110. And during the summer in Tucson, we got 117. In Phoenix, it got 125. So if you're going to move here during the fall to winter, and then prepare yourself, because come summer, you're going to have to drink more water than you thought you would normally. And you're going to have to dress in lighter clothes. You're going to have a good AC system. And you might want to get your car checked out before summer hits, because a lot of cars have car problems once summer hits. They weren't designed for the Arizona heat. So if your AC is not good, if your water pump's not good, if your fan in your vehicle is not good, you're going to have problems. Also, make sure you have a good oil change before summer hits. It's totally doable, but you need to drink water and you need to dress appropriately. Just got my Stealth Arms Platypus. Cool. Black and white slide fire. Thank you. This is our lightning stencil. We got the stencils from Tactical Penguin. The black is H series graphite black, and the white is Arctic white, which is an F series. Thank you, MJ. Yeah, I've only got a few here to show off, but we've got a lot more on the website. There we go, and one big old package going off to Utah with a Fragile sticker. If you get that joke, congratulations. We're all old and we all watch the same movie every Christmas. Yep, Wisconsin is famous for their cheese. And they have beer and brats. And I want to say something called a cannibal sandwich, which... Nah, I'm going to pass on that one. Maybe that's not Wisconsin. Maybe I'm thinking of someplace else. But it's raw meat and onions on bread. I'm good. Oh, all of us do some side work this morning. My job is to go out and check on some properties and see if they need maintenance and stuff, and kick off any tweakers I might see. Another one is all these people who left Arizona for the winter to go vacation somewhere. I gotta go check on some houses. Make sure their frickin' water pipe hasn't burst or some crap like that. Custom color combo request? Yes, kind of. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. So kind of. Okay, so if let's say you like the tiger, but you want it in a different color scheme. You like the black, but you don't want orange. Maybe you want red, or maybe you want green, or blue, or white. You can reach out to us. Just contact us on our sales email or on our website on the Contact Us sheet. And let us know, hey, I like this slide, but I want to order it in a different color scheme. Can you do this? And then just let them know which colors you want. And they might be able to make it happen. Now, some have been so out there, it's just like, yeah, no, sorry, we can't do that. But some of them that are simple like that, yeah, we probably could. When did I post that? Oh, that's something else. Okay. Yeah, let's make a new post here. Oops, and I forgot this one. Copy there. Now I'm just posting some stuff to Twitter. Always got to be posting. Social media is just such a necessity. Unfortunately, Twitter is very pay to play, whereas YouTube and Facebook are easier to get some followers on. Though Facebook absolutely will target us, especially once we get closer to Veterans Day. Because last year, they've targeted us for almost 10 months now, 11 months, because we wished the Marine Corps a happy birthday and said veterans and active military, Guard and Reserve, get 10% off all year long. So they've been hounding us for a year, telling us we violated the rules. You violated the law. And it's been just freaking fun to deal with. And you can tell that Meta just hires freaking retards who don't know how to read their own policies. Anti-gun commie retards. Commitards. Speaking of communism, and I might give one of these away, because I've got a stack of them. Where is it? Where are you? Might give one of these away on a live sometime. Now, do not judge this book by its cover, because it is not quite what it seems. I've got a stack of these, and I might give a few away. But yeah, this book is not reflective of the cover. It's more of a joke. And the author is hoping that they sell to people who are supportive of communism, only to pick it up and read it, and it's just a book trashing communism. You're banned from giving review. Oh my god. Oh, and this is the pre-production error version. So the versions the author is selling now are all fixed, but the publisher got some spelling errors in there when they did their spell correct, because some of the names in the book, like Kim Jong-il, they spelled it Kim Jong-il because autocorrect. So they had to go in there and fix that. So I've got a few of the pre-production ones that are signed by the author. And I'm thinking about giving a couple out on a live sometime, because they'll be cheap to ship. Like, one of the first lines in it, it's freaking funny, is why communism works in the United States. It doesn't. And then it just goes on from there. So the whole title of the book is just a troll to get people to buy it who are hopefully communist, and then it's just a middle finger to them. OG Redbeard, what's going on, man? Well, the thing about the Space Worn is you're never really going to know what you're going to get, because the wear style on them is different on every single one. So some of them you might get a wear style that's like all up in here, and then the others are like only partially worn, and some you might get worn even further on all sides. The wear process is different for each slide. What's your opinion on Zev slides? They're good slides. They're 17.4 stainless steel, just like us, but they're a little expensive. Like, our slides range from 145 to 285. Zev also, though, has name stay power. So they've been around long enough that everybody knows the name. Everybody knows what Zev is. So they can charge whatever, you know, their prices because of their namesake. So, like, for example, right now I'm looking at a slide that is similar, and it's a strip slide, mind you, that is similar to our Zoom slide. It has front grip serrations. It has an optic cut. They're charging $299 for it. I'm charging $155 for this slide. Zev slides are more expensive because they have name power. And I don't fault them for that. They've been around. They've proven their product is good. They don't have a bad product. And Zev also has their Zev posts, which I believe they patented. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they did. That said, they do have some cool slides with some really cool designs on it that probably are worth the price that they're putting on there, because they're doing some machine work that's really interesting. But that said, they're also selling a slide that's very similar to our Zoom. It has a rounded edge instead of our chamfered, and it's like freaking twice as much. So, you know, it's not that they're bad slides. They have great slides. It's just they're a little expensive. Gray, daily carry? Yeah, I usually carry this turbo here. Stiffler Manufacturing SM19 Turbo. or I carry a Gen 5 Glock 19. Sometimes I carry a Ruger SR9. Unfortunately, I don't have anything for the Glock 30. Just the 19 and the 17. And we're almost done with the 26. There we go. And here is the Ruger SR9. She's got some use in her. Some love. But I still like her. I liked the SR line. Kind of sad they don't make them anymore. The only disappointing thing about Ruger is they don't keep a line. Once they're done with it, they move on and make something else. Which, you know, is just kind of disappointing. Man, thank you guys so much for the likes. It's freaking awesome. You guys have done a lot of likes today. Let's see, what are my analytics looking at today? And we broke 1,500 on the subs. That is so freaking sweet. God, I really got to get that 1K giveaway going on, but we got to handle some orders and stuff first. And today, man, I got over 12,000 views on this one today, which is just so cool. Because I just get to sit here, talk to you guys, and hopefully you ask some questions and stuff. Otherwise, I'm just some crazy vet talking to himself. Jonah, what's going on? It should. I've never tested it, though. Because the Shadow Systems is essentially a Glock clone. I know they call it like a premium clone. But it's essentially a Glock clone. And these are Gen 3 slides. So they should fit. Armsman, thank you, man. Good morning. So, you know, they should fit, but I've never tested it. So I don't know for sure. Oh, here's a... Oh, wait, do I have this one still? Let me pop this up. I don't know if we still have this one. Here we go. Let's pop this up onto one of our eBays. But, like, for those of you asking about the different color schemes, like, here's a lightning stencil in blue. So that's stuff we can totally do if you're looking to change the color scheme. I know I'm probably losing people to work, and also I've been doing this for over 2 hours now, so people are probably getting bored of listening to me. Looks like that guy Wade Fox is gone. He was a anti-gun weirdo in here earlier, talking about farts and poops and ATF and... We haven't really seen a huge demand for 357 SIG, or we've gotten some demand for 40. We're just not sure we're going to do it yet. The next slide we produce after 9mm might be 45 ACP or 10mm, but I'm not sure. It just depends on where the demand is. So if distributors and vendors start asking for it, we'll produce it, because we've got to make some money on. And that's kind of why we started doing the 26 instead of the 43. Distributors and vendors started asking for the 26 over the 43. So that's kind of just where we went. We're like, okay, well, if this is what they want, this is what we're going to make. Have any Foreman 49 for Gen 4? No, just Glock 19 Gen 3s and 17s Gen 3s, and we're working on the 26, which is based on the Gen 4, but it should still fit the Gen 3 and Gen 4 just fine. Same as all Glocks of those generations. They can move up and down if you change out the right parts. Boop-a-doop-bop-ba. Yeah. Oh, right. I forgot to do that. And that. There we go. I'm order 424. I emailed Brian. Oh, your order. Oh, yeah, your order 424. Right on. Which one did you end up ordering? And I hope you use the discount code. Yeah, baby. Popping through some orders today. Let's see. There we go. There we go. Let's get that on there. Let's get that on there. Move back over here. Stanky leg. Yes, they are. We primarily use an H series Cerakote, but we also do F series and FX series. And the ones with stenciling come from Tactical Penguin. We use their stencils to help us make these work. So like our tiger here, this lightning, and then of course the camo we have here in the back. So I got the wrong color and emailed you on that. I wanted the tungsten. Okay, yeah, no worries. They should receive that, and I'll text them. I'll be in the shop today. Order, let me write this down. Where's my pen? Add a piece of paper. Pen and paper. Where are you at? There we go. Okay. Yeah, but they should see it when they get into the shop this morning. There we go. Got that all written down. Oh, thank you. No, we don't do any stippling services. I'd recommend maybe East Coast Cerakote, or I think Superior Trigger might do some stuff like that. Oh, no problem, Christopher. Just got a Glock 45 Gen 5, looking to do the slide in fall camo. Oh yeah, our winter camo? Well, not fall camo, I guess it'd be winter. We don't really have a fall camo per se. That'd be kind of cool, though. I do know our Gen 3 19s fit on the 45, though. How much does the Glock 17 send the bullets faster feet per second than the Glock 19? Huh. I never really thought of that, to be honest. I guess it depends on muzzle velocity and with the longer barrel, but the 17 should have a higher muzzle velocity than the 19 because of the longer barrel, but the difference really shouldn't be all that significant. And I guess it also depends on the ammunition you're using. I couldn't say specifically, but the 17 would technically have higher muzzle velocity FPS than the 19 just because of the longer barrel, but it's not that much longer. So like here is a 19 and here is a 17, 19 on top. Like really not that much longer. There we go, 19 on top. So you're not really getting that much from it. My 19 Gen 3 needs some love. We got you, man. All strip slides, 15 to 20% off this month. Yeah, we do have a few camo options, though, Snaggy Leg. I mean, check them out. Just go onto the website and type camo in the search bar, and you'll see which different camos we have. There we go. Yep, this is definitely the month for it. Everything's 15 to 20% off on all the strip slides. Not on the completes. And that's mostly just What the hell? Well, that's weird, but okay. Super weird, but okay. Okay, good. Got that fixed. That was so weird. Popping all kinds of crazy up on the website. There we go. Oh. Whew, been doing this for 2 hours. Let's see, we got that packaged up. Are there any other orders I still have to package up? Most of the stuff is going to be available from the shop directly, but occasionally I keep a few slides at the home so that way I can wrap them up and send them off. Hey, 10X Shooters, what's going on? Yeah, there should be like an exact chart for it based on ammo, based on slot, or based on barrel length. I just can't imagine it's too much of a difference between the 19 and 17. I mean, you know, in theory, the 17 would be better when it comes to velocity, but yeah, I can't imagine it's too much higher. I mean, let's see, what's the average? Glock 17 average speed is just over 1,200 feet per second compared to the 19 at over 1,130 feet per second. Oh, no worries, Jonah. Oh, thank you. Greatly appreciate it. Hope use the discount code. Wait, hold on. Are you doing... Oh, you're doing a complete. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and ask your question, by all means. Getting ready for a CCW class. Sweet. Patriot Arms, what's going on, man? Thanks for popping by. Yeah, very marginally, I guess, is what you're... Yeah, pretty much. I mean, yeah, it does depend on the type of ammo you're using. Like, if you're using plus P ammunition versus regular, and what grain the bullet is, etc. It's just, from what I'm seeing here, it's not too much of a difference. You're looking at 70 to 80 FPS difference. So it's not, like, real significant. It's interesting, though, but... Yeah, it hasn't been something I haven't really compared the two before, to be honest. Math is cool. Yes. Let's see. Oh, yeah, we did get another order in, but that one's going to have to be a shop one. Okay, I don't have that one here. Oh, right on. Glad to hear it, FE. Let me know how it shoots. I'm dealing with one right now. We actually just did a test shoot for somebody, and they were having an issue where the brass was shaving off, or we think it was either the shell case. He didn't have any photos of the casings or the primers, and we tested it, and then we changed out the extractor and didn't experience any issues. And so we think maybe his extractor was gouging the casings, or somehow the primer was getting, because he was getting some buildup of what appeared to be brass shavings inside the slide. And we changed out the extractor on it, and we're just like, we're not having these problems. Dropped 100 rounds through it. And he was saying he was having problems after like 1 to 3 magazines where his internals were just getting loaded up with shavings. On the firing pin extrusion? Sights and centers look good. Right on. I haven't done a long one in a little while. Mostly it's because the view. Well, it just dropped again. Mostly because the viewership kind of drops off. But it looks like maybe I should start doing these at like 4 to 5 in the morning. And it seems like I can pick up more people in the early. I just don't know if I want to get up that early every damn day. Okay. Yeah, the ones we're getting are through SCT Manufacturing, and we have noticed from some other people that they've been having some issues with some SCT parts. So I don't know if they have just kind of dropped the ball on some QC, or if just, stuff happens and some bad ones got out. Yeah, we ship to Pennsylvania. We ship to every state in the country. The only one we are considering not shipping to will be California, and that will probably happen in July. Recoil spring, we sent you a 17, right? So it should be 17-pound recoil spring. But it's the turbo, so that should be fine. If it was the Viper, you might have to go down to a 13 or 15 pound. But I think on the turbo, that'll work just fine. It's like a 17 or 18 pound spring weight on the recoil spring. Also from SCT. But we've got a good dealer price with them, so. I guess their locking block has had some issues on some of their frames. And we experienced that a little bit. How rust resistant are Stiffler products? For example, would I need to buy another in 10 plus years provided everything is cleaned roughly every 6 months? Should be fine, man. It's 17.4 stainless steel. It's pretty corrosion resistant. So far, no issues. I mean, it's stainless steel. It's 17.4, hard, corrosion resistant. Good aftermarket frame. Grit Grips is good. I know some people shit on PSA, but they're fine to start. Especially for the price point, since it already comes with an LPK installed. But yeah, Grit Grips is a good frame. I first saw your slides on eBay about a week ago. Yes, thought about Stiffler's mom. Yeah, we get that joke a lot. Does your discount apply on eBay? Website only. To be honest, I wish we didn't have to sell on eBay. People love eBay so much that we're kind of forced to, but eBay takes 13.6 to 30% of our sales. So I wish we didn't have to sell on eBay, but that's the nature of it. Yeah, something. I have to look it up again. I'm not drawing a blank on it right now, but yes, and Cerakote will wear eventually. You'll especially notice it, especially if you're using a ported barrel, but you'll notice the inside will wear. The outside tends to stay pretty good, though. And this one did get some holster wear from just repeated drawing and stuff. And I think this one up here is from when I dropped it. So I was doing some drop testing for the Siley optic there. Pretty sure I did. Sales at stifflermanufacturing.com, or we've got a few personal ones too, but all of us can see the sales email. So that way if one of us is out of town or whatever, somebody will see it. So we usually just give out the sales email. Yeah, they all get holster wear. It's just something. I've had people complain about it. I'm like, your regular OEM Glock is going to get holster wear. Like, show that you don't shoot your gun if you're concerned about holster wear, or even just shooting wear. Oh, no worries. However is easiest for you to do it. Like, here's my old Ruger. Definitely got holster wear. Oh, there we go. Got a scratch on it. Got some wear. So I went out and shot it. Like, that happens. Wear is going to happen when you shoot. Philadelphia? Yeah, I know they had an issue there with Polymer 80 a while back, but we only make slides. We're not doing frames, so we're good. We ship everywhere in the United States and some of the territories. The only place we have a restriction on right now is American Samoa, and that's because pistols and 9mm are illegal there, so we're not even bothering. Oh, right on. Let's see. Oh, yep, got a couple more sales there. Okay. Okay, all right. Oh, and they're calling me. I was wondering when this was going to happen. That's okay. This is cool. I'm not going to make 50 bucks doing nothing. All right, this is where I'm going to end it, guys. I got to go off to the post office and go do some side work. And then I'll probably get off to the shop today. And I'll probably do another live later today, talk about sales and whatnot. But, you know, thanks for checking everything out, guys. We're doing 15% to 20% off stripped slides this whole month. So check that out on our website for Glocktober. Yes, exactly, Avery. Guns are meant to do a job. Don't be wrong, they can look pretty. They can look nice, hence all the styling and whatnot. But they're still meant to go to work. Still meant to do stuff with them. Yeah, anytime. Thanks for dropping by. And thank you guys so much for the likes and the new subs that we got today. Thanks for checking us out, and please check out our sale. And as always, stay 2A every day.